Since the start of the pandemic, reports of mental health issues in Ireland have risen significantly. Many of those affected have experienced anxiety and psychological stress due to causes such as job losses, catastrophic learning losses, and social isolation. If you are one of those affected, this is for you.
Hi, my name is Magda. I'm Polish and I live in Ireland for 14 years. Also, I'm a mom of 12 years old, 12 years old boy. Since the lockdown started, we all have been impacted badly, emotionally and mentally. Loads of anxiety raised through all these months, especially during the fourth lockdown, since the school wasn't open in January. My son struggled. I can observe like repetitive patterns in his behavior, and I can see he's socially and emotionally regressing.
Cheila for mental health.
Hi, I'm Niall, and I'd like to talk to you today about how lockdowns have affected my life and my mental health. So before the lockdown started, I was working in hospitality, and I was loving it. I was getting to meet new people every day and getting to interact with them. But since the lockdowns have started, that's been completely wiped from my life. I have no purpose anymore. My job is gone. I was studying in college. I was studying law, and I would have had to study online because of the lockdowns, but I didn't want to do that. So I deferred my year. So I have nothing at the moment. I have no purpose. I've nothing to get up in the morning for. I have no schedule. I feel incredibly lonely. I spend hours on my own in my room, and it's incredibly lonely. I haven't seen my friends since last September. I haven't seen my family in over a year. But the government doesn't seem to care about my mental health or how it's impacted my life.
Cheila for mental health.
My name is Sarah, and I'd like to talk about the impact lockdowns have had on me. I lost my husband on the 27th of December. Because of the lockdown, I wasn't able to have the usual sort of funeral for Jerry. I was only, we're only allowed to have 10 people, and it just was really, really hard not to be able to have friends and family around me at that time, and since that time it's been just so lonely.
Cheila for mental health.
My name's Angelo. I'm a 38-year-old competitive strongman, and I'd just like to say a few words about this whole pandemic since it started there last year and how it's affected my mental health. I have days now which a year ago wasn't an issue, but I mean, even going up to a shop now, walking into a store, I mean, just anxiety goes through the roof. I mean, I more often than not never turn around and go back to the car and just not bother going in, but I have had a couple of incidents where I've walked into a store and I've been confronted because of not wearing a mask. Again, I do have a couple of legitimate medical conditions which I don't feel the need to go into with every single shop owner or shopkeeper. Then it also triggers my PTSD after I've had that confrontational phase then in the store. It hasn't happened many times, but it has happened a couple of times in the last year. And it's not something that I feel, people in general should have to deal with. I mean, it is a disability, the condition that I have. So I mean, I shouldn't have to go around explaining myself to each and every shopkeeper, shop owner. And then there's also the financial aspect of being out of work for the last year, being at home, and again, I love my family to bits, but I mean, when people are stuck indoors basically for the last year, I mean, we're getting frustrated. I mean, the mental side of it, the mental health is just not being talked about, and I, for one, can honestly say that, yeah, it has affected me dramatically. I mean, anxiety, PTSD, and there's just not enough awareness about mental health.
Cheila for mental health.
My name is Ursula. I'm 35 years old. This lockdown affected me in many ways. I feel very anxious and lonely since it all started. When I go to shops, I feel guilty for not wearing a mask. I feel that I am judged. People aren't friendly. People look mad when they see me without the mask. I can't sleep at night because I'm separated from my family and I haven't seen them for a very long time. When I arrived to Ireland, I was very happy. I was the luckiest person in the world, but it's not a case anymore.
While COVID-19 may pose a greater threat to the elderly and vulnerable, we must also acknowledge that the unintended consequences of the restrictions are destroying the lives of many, and their voice must be heard too. Come to Herbert Park Dublin at 2 p.m. on March 17th in support of mental health.